There's a ton of things that you could see on Instagram. Now, since they added Reels, things have gotten a lot more toxic in my opinion. And the main topic is relationships. And I assure you, one of the worst ways to get relationship and dating advice is through random Instagram Reels. You have such a wide range of the type of people that are on Instagram and that make content. But unfortunately, a lot of them have really dangerous or just really bad opinions and advice to give you. Here is the one thing that actually made me want to make this video, this reel right here. If you don't want to read, she's basically saying that she's proud of living a 10-year marriage because being uncertain is better than familiarity, safety, and comfortability. And honestly, this is this is basically 10 out of 10 rage bait, because obviously people can leave relationships for whatever reason they want. But I'm not gonna lie, when I read this, based on surface value things from what I gathered, seems pretty weird, superficial. I don't know what to take from it. And she gives no details to what exactly happened, so we don't know if it was a bad relationship or we're having issues or whatever. Like, well, we just don't know a lot of these things. But based on just the information that she gives us, it's not really looking good. I don't know why she did it necessarily. I guess she just wanted to be free, but also she has 2 kids. She can make whatever decision she wants, but the issue of making this sort of content is that I feel like it makes a lot of young people paranoid as to just getting in relationships. And I think this probably affects men more than women in this regard. Imagine being 15 or 14 and you're just starting dating. You haven't really been in a serious relationship yet, so you don't really know what you're doing. And then you see reels like this come up. It's gonna make you paranoid, like, hey, even if I get in a relationship, who knows if there's any loyalty there, if there's gonna be any like real love in that relationship. And it's really bad, especially for the youth. Almost everybody agrees in the sense that, like, hey, you're kind of crazy for doing that, because like, girl, what? That's not the flex you thought. Get back with your husband. And again, we have another rage bait post. Like, studies show that 8 out of 10 females have a second partner. I mean, come on, this is just misogyny, just wrapped up in a little Instagram bow. This is the type of advice people who like Andrew Tate would really gravitate towards. And honestly, that's how they're kind of indoctrinated into that like whole red pill society type of thing, where you can't trust a partner. This is really dangerous for the younger generation, and which is why I feel like we have just such an uptick in conservative rhetorics and all that. But that's a whole different conversation I'm not even going to get into. Really is a shame, because if you go to the comments, they're real people who actually believe that this is like a real thing. But luckily there are some people that just know this is rage bait. And here we just have a clickbait reel about cheating, even though you read the caption, and yes, I read most of it at least, it has nothing to do with cheating. She basically just didn't want to work anymore, which is fair because they had kids and somebody needed to take care of them. But apparently there was like some miscommunication going on about her finding something else or just wanting to do that full time, whatever, I don't know. But it's really weird that she clickbaited cheating, which is understandable because obviously that's going to get clicks, it's going to get engagement, but you don't understand the harm that you're going to do. You don't even want to perpetuate these things, but since you want to have more engagement on your posts, you're going to essentially help influence a more conservative and more, what's the word? More conservative and more just like red pill generation growing up. Like, these people always existed. This just gave them an outlet to find their audience, and they're playing into it because most people aren't going to read that long ass paragraph or long ass story under it. They're just going to be like, oh, his wife cheated on him and it was the best thing that ever happened to her or whatever. I mean, come on. But we actually have somebody that kind of understands, or no, not even kind of, that fully understands the issues between having social media influence your relationships.
Social media has ruined relationships, not because of porn, not because of micro cheating, but because of overanalyzation. We have picked apart every single aspect there is to being in a relationship and expected not to have some sort of negative outcome as a result of that. It is a very well-known fact that human consciousness is both a gift and a curse, depending on how one chooses to use it. And people choose to believe some random person on the screen who they've known for 15 seconds rather than their partner who they've known for an extended period of time.
You know what's crazy? I just realized I wasn't screen recording this entire time. Oh man, that's fine. I'll just go back and she knows exactly what she's talking about. These things, you can't let social media influence your relationship. If you see a random reel of someone getting cheated on, that does not mean you are getting cheated on. You know, especially if you see this one post like, oh, if your partner does this, then they don't respect you. Or if your partner does that, then they're seeing their side girl on Thursday afternoons. You know, like you can't use them as a guide necessarily. You have to understand your relationship and your partner. If you are in a situation where you're actually being mistreated by your partner, or the relationship's just not good, or, you know, you are getting cheated on and these things, you can't generalize it to an entire group of people or an entire just gender, class, you know, or whatever you want to call it. You just have to learn and understand certain red flags that lend to being mistreated by your partner, like hiding things. Like if somebody's going out and they're hiding something or whatever, you know, maybe that is a cause to think about, hey, are they doing something that I shouldn't know about? But like I said, if these things are happening to you, you have to get out the relationship, learn, heal. Eventually, you're going to find somebody else to be with. You're not, that one or multiple bad experiences are not going to define your future partners. You just have to understand the type of person that will take care of you and actually care about you. Yeah, here's another reel that I wanted to touch on because this is 10 out of 10 rage bait. Essentially, again, if you're not going to read, this lady is saying that she wouldn't be with her man if he was broke because he wouldn't be with her if she was ugly. If you want to believe that, go right ahead, but you're going to be miserable because love shouldn't be a transaction like that. It shouldn't just be, hey, you have money and hey, you're pretty. Let's get together if we just have a few things in common. No, like you have to have a genuine connection. And what's crazy is that a lot of people debate this in the comments, and I feel like it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. If you like the person and they treat you right and they have something going for them, it doesn't have to be money. Just like, you know, maybe they have a passion that you care about, or maybe they're just the type of person that you like maybe they're outgoing or whatever, things like that, then date them. My biggest pet peeve is when people have a checklist in dating and they don't date somebody if they don't meet all their superficial requirements. I'm not saying that if your checklist are things like being cared for, affectionate, stuff like that, those are valid things that if you need that in a relationship, they should check those boxes. But I mean the type of checklist where like, oh, they have curly hair, they make a certain amount of money, they look a certain way, you know, those type of things, that's stupid. It's okay to have a preference with these things superficially, or just like things that are kind of materialistic, but you shouldn't have to limit yourself and stop yourself from dating someone that might veer a bit left from that superficial checklist. And, you know, maybe just, you know, try it out, see what happens. They could be the person for you, but you think you know what you want and end up turning down a good person because they just don't meet those things. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that today. I made a video about it yesterday. Unfortunately, though, I didn't have enough light in my shot and the shot looked absolutely terrible. So yeah, I guess I'm done. Also, WikiHow has some relationship advice. Don't follow it, but you already knew that.